TVS Nightline, and here are the headlines for tonight. Infamous BOZZ JEBAT has issued a public apology to the Premier of Sarawak. On a similar issue, mere publicity, Minister of Youth, Creative Industries and Performing Arts, Dato Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, slammed BOZZ JEBAT's cheap remarks. And on world affairs, Indonesian President JOKOWI has said that he will start working from the new national capital, Nusantara, in July. Zul Amali Hussein, or infamously known as BOZZ JEBAT, has issued a public apology to the Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunopeng, earlier today. In a video posted on his social media, he acknowledges that the offensive remarks hurled at the Premier was somewhat excessive. He claimed that a video of him that went viral was edited and blown out of proportion by various parties. Meanwhile, according to Sarawak Police, a total of 45 police reports have been received throughout the state as of 6:25 p.m. today. Meanwhile, the case is currently being investigated under Section 4(1) of the Sedition Act 1948 and Section 233 of the Communications and Multimedia Act 1998. Meanwhile, Minister of Youth, Creative Industries and Performing Arts, Dato Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, slammed Zul Amali Hussein's actions of insulting the Premier of Sarawak, Dato Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunopeng. He described the statement made by the former United Malays National Organisation UMNO member as mere cheap publicity.
Social media, kadang-kadang, well, you can express yourself in many ways. Perlembagaan Malaysia, there is this freedom of expression, fundamental rights. But you must know how to use that freedom properly. You cannot just use it untuk mengentam, menghina, to incite racial harmony. This is actually what happened. He did not even do his homework. Dia menuduh Abang Jo ngantar menteri pelancongan untuk jadi menteri. Siapa yang melantik menteri federal? Bukan Abang Jo yang melantik. Itu dilantik oleh Perdana Menteri.
On February 29, police reports were lodged after a video showing BOZZ JEBAT allegedly hurling insults against Abang Johari and Tiong went viral on social media.
Indonesian President Joko Widodo has said that he will start working from the new national capital, Nusantara, in Kalimantan in July this year. Additionally, Jokowi said that Indonesia's Minister of Public Works and Public Housing will relocate to Nusantara earlier than him in June.
The president highlighted that when complete, Nusantara will be reachable from the city's dedicated airport in 15 minutes. Furthermore, he pointed out that the toll road will help shorten travel time from Balikpapan, the closest major city, to Nusantara from 2 hours to 45 minutes. Regarding the development of the city's financial district, Widodo is optimistic that the opening of more bank offices in the new capital would support Nusantara's smart city concept. He is also confident that the increasing number of investments in the new capital would accelerate Nusantara's development process, which is expected to take at least a decade. The Indonesian government is targeting to commence government activities in the new capital from August 17, 2024, on the 79th anniversary of Indonesia's independence.
Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Padigi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunapeng officially declared open the Masjid Al-Madinah Al-Husna in Sibujaya on Friday. Featuring a distinctive kite-like design, Abang Johari said the 32 million ringgit structure will serve as a centre of self and community development.
Jadi bermakna kita dalam Sibujaya ini, kita gunakanlah masjid sebagai pusat untuk kita membangunkan diri kita dan membangunkan masyarakat. Alhamdulillah Sibujaya telah membangun dengan baik. Secara kebetulanlah saya pernah menjadi Menteri Perumahan dan di sinilah kita macam banyak masalah juga. Tapi dengan sifat kita untuk memberi khidmat yang terbaik, kita ubahlah perancangan yang mula, akhirnya kita dapat melihat Sibujaya yang membangun dengan begitu besar.
Abang Johari also expressed admiration for the mosque's unique architecture, which incorporates elements of ethnic culture. He said that the architectural beauty symbolizes the beauty of Islam. In addition, Abang Johari also announced the construction of a new mosque in Kampung Kemunyang, Sibu, which will employ new technology in its construction and feature the second largest dome in Malaysia. The Al-Madinah Al-Husna Mosque, which has a capacity of 3,210, was built in August 2019 and was completed on October 5, 2023 due to COVID-19 related delays.
The construction project connecting Sibujaya and Lanang, expected to be completed within a year, will spur economic activities in the city as well as connectivity enhancement. Premier Sarawak Dato' Padigi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunapeng said the visionary master plan will revamp Sibujaya to exponential growth, adding that the project will also connect Lanang with Bintango, Sarike and Tanjung Manis.
According to him, development in the state in various aspects is often placed at the forefront to realize the state's vision as an economic powerhouse. At the same time, Abang Johari said that Sarawak is now transitioning into a new economy, both digitally and technologically.
Pun banyak tidak datang ke negeri kita, kerana kita coba ekonomi baru. Kita sing ikut ekonomi lama lagi. Kita ngikut ekonomi baru yang berkisar kepada ilmu digital, yang berkisar kepada ilmu supaya jangan kepanasan gila planet kita, iaitu menambah suhu kepanasan dengan menggunakan tenaga baru, termasuklah hidrogen, tenaga yang boleh diperbaharui daripada cahaya matahari dan seterusnya.
On to the next highlight. The main working committee for this year's state-level Gawai Dayak celebration has been formed. Deputy Premier Dato' Ahmad Yaakob Uga Amba said the Celebration Management Committee will be chaired by Minister of Education, Innovations and Talent Development Sarawak, Dato' Sri Roland Zaga Wee In. The Bidayu community will play host to this year's celebration, culminating in a grand Gawai event dinner at the Borneo Convention Centre, Kuching, BCCK on June 22nd. Among the guests of honour expected to attend include the head of state Tun Pehin Sri Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar and wife Top Wan Fauzia Muhammad Sanusi, Premier Sarawak Dato' Padigi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunapeng, as well as Prime Minister Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim. In addition to the dinner and the Niti Down procession, other events that will be held would be the Gawai Bazaar and the Gawai Carnival. Sarawak is making significant strides towards realizing its vision of producing sustainable aviation fuel, or SAF, with Sarawak Economic Development Corporation (SEDC) already embarking on the cultivation of algae on a 2-acre site in Bintulu. SEDC Chairman Tan Sri Dato' Ahmad Dr. Abdul Aziz Hussein said the nursery marks a step in the right direction in developing the new energy source in the region, with the first batch of crude algae oil expected to be produced by the middle of this year.
It's of course in the initial stage. Itu pun masih on the temporary side. We have already developed 2 acres of the algae farm together with the processing plant to process bio-oil. So we should be able to actually produce some oil by middle of this year.
He said this to reporters after paying a courtesy visit to the head of state, Tun Pehin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jafar, at the Astana Negeri on Friday. Meanwhile, SCDC Energy CEO Robert Harden added that the nursery will also provide biofuel samples for potential off-takers for testing.
The one that we have is producing about 50 liters a day.
50 liters a day?
Yeah, which is enough for market seeding and for potential off-takers to send to their labs to test.
Just for people to test.
The first phase of the Bintulu algae nursery will involve an area spanning 1,000 acres and over 2,000 cultivation tanks, producing 10 to 40 tons of algae per month.
Parents generally do not oppose graduation ceremonies or school events held in exclusive venues like hotels. However, the decision should take into consideration the consensus from parents, considering the financial pressure and additional costs they may bear. For Siti Nur Ashikin Len, she underscores the important role of the Parent-Teacher Association or PTA in fostering discussions to avert parental dissatisfaction stemming from the substantial expenses associated with such ceremonies.
The mother of five acknowledged the significance of graduation ceremonies designed to celebrate students and impart substantial importance in their lives. This event serves as motivators for academic success while fostering stronger connections with the school community and strengthening the bond between parents and their children.
Pihak sekolah dan pihak PIBG perlu berbincang terlebih dahulu untuk mengadakan majlis graduasi untuk anak-anak. Sebab perbincangan tu penting sebenarnya. Mun kita si berbincang, kita si tahu macam ni untuk perjalanan untuk graduasi anak-anak tu. Contoh macam PIBG, setidaknya ada duit di sekolah tak si? Duit gumpul PIBG pun. So, duit ya boleh digunakan untuk hari graduasi anak-anak kelak.
Meanwhile, Shamsuddin Mamat said he is open to the idea of holding graduation ceremonies in hotels, emphasizing safety as the key factor influencing his perspective.
Untuk trend ni, kita tengok kemampuan lah. Bagi saya, 50-50. Ada saya setuju, ada yang saya tak setuju. Maksudnya, selagi benda tu kita boleh jimat, kita jimat. Okey, dari segi saya setujunya, kita buat dekat hotel, ialah keselamatan dekat hotel lah. Maknanya kita buat dekat kawasan tu, kita ada security, keselamatan pelajar-pelajar kita. Lepas tu dia punya atur cara semua dah mengikut, apa kata orang tu, mengikut aturan dia lah, aturan hotel sendiri.
The Education Ministry encourages school graduation ceremonies to be held in a simple yet lively atmosphere and full of appreciation to celebrate all students. Its Minister Fadlina Sidek said, however, discussions with PTA at their respective schools are the basis for the graduation ceremony.
Coming up right after the break, Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim hopes LHDN can collect more revenue this year. And on the World News, Iranians vote in elections. Right here on TVS Nightline, stay tuned. Welcome back. Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim hopes the Inland Revenue Board, or LHDN, will be able to collect more revenue than the board's projection of 197 billion ringgit this year. Anwar also urged companies and individuals to carry out their responsibilities and come forward to pay taxes.
Kita tidak boleh bagi gambaran yang atas paling maha kaya itu terselamat daripada tindakan. Mesti ada kesungguhan dan keberanian saudara. Tidak kira kaitannya, kedudukannya, saya selalu sebut, saudara bertugas jalankan tanggung jawab. Apakah dia Ahmad atau Aseng atau Tan Sri atau Tun, saya tidak kira. Saudara hanya kira dia bayar cukai atau tidak. Kalau tak bayar cukai, geledah dan ambil tindakan.
He said this at the 28th Revenue Day celebration in Putrajaya on Friday. According to Anwar, LHDN had succeeded in creating a new record in tax collection last year of 183.34 billion ringgit, which was 7.8 billion ringgit or 4.49% more than the total collected the year before. However, he said, Malaysia still has a low tax base, which is around 11.2% of the gross domestic product compared to other neighboring countries, such as Singapore at 12.6% and Thailand 16.4%. As of December 31st, 2023, the number of individual taxpayers was 5.7 million with collection revenue of 40.96 billion ringgit, and for companies, it was 539,113 with collection revenue of 98.77 billion ringgit.
On to the next update. The police are scrutinizing a video that shows a tour bus driver refueling the vehicle was smoking a cigarette at a petrol station. The said video went viral on social media on Thursday, and upon investigation, Mualim District Police Chief Muhammad Hasni Muhammad Nasir disclosed that the incident occurred last Sunday.
The incident was reported by the owner of the petrol station located along the North-South Expressway in Bahrang, directly to the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Cost of Living, KPDN, which is responsible for taking action against the user. The case is being investigated under the Control of Tobacco Products Regulations 2004. Upon conviction, the offender may be fined not exceeding 10,000 ringgit or jail time not exceeding 2 years. Hasni took the opportunity to not smoke in prohibited areas, especially areas that could endanger the public, such as the petrol station. The 57-second viral video showing a man smoking a cigarette while filling up with diesel fuel had left netizens fuming, with most expressing concern about potential accidents resulting from such behavior.
Thank you for staying with me. Following its declining performance over the past 2 years, Malaysia's timber and timber products industry is set to see a recovery this year. following better growth projections of the U.S. economy. Plantation Industries and Commodities Minister Dr. Sri Johari Abdul Ghani said the government is committed to support its sustainability and growth through its injection of over 1 billion ringgit in the Forest Plantation Development Program and the provision of soft loans to 88 companies for various replanting projects.
Speaking at the launch of the Malaysia International Furniture Fair 2024 on Friday, Johari said the timber and furniture industry was not insulated from the effects of global headwinds. With the exports of timber and timber products falling by 13.2 to 21.9 billion ringgit in 2022 and furniture exports dropping by 18.1% to 9.1 billion ringgit last year. He attributed the decline to a weakening in housing demand in the US, which is the biggest buyer of Malaysian furniture. The Malaysian furniture industry is largely export-oriented, with 44% of timber exports shipped to 186 countries over the past 5 years. Meanwhile, on the reforestation effort, Johari said that development involving over 142,000 hectares nationwide is expected to yield results in the next 7 to 15 years. He said the government will continue to ensure that industry players are able to comply with international standards as the world is now concerned about deforestation.
Glaring safety lapses were to be blamed for restaurant blaze in Dhaka that killed 45 people, with more deaths anticipated as dozens more rushed to hospital in critical condition. Authorities on Friday said the 7-story building lacked safety measures. The blaze had been made worse by cooking gas cylinders stored haphazardly in stairwells and restaurant kitchens. It was also reported that most of the victims died from suffocation. Thursday night's fire began at a popular biryani restaurant with many families with children dining in the capital's upscale Bailey Road neighbourhood. The entire building, home to several other eateries, was soon engulfed by flames that took fire crews 2 hours to bring under control. Earlier, fire officials said a gas leak or a stove could have started the inferno. Hundreds of anxious family members rushed to the nearby Dhaka Medical College Hospital overnight as ambulances brought the dead and injured to the clinic. Explosions and fires are frequent in buildings and factories across Bangladesh where safety standards are lax and corruption often allows them to be ignored. Bangladesh's worst fire took place in 2012 when a blaze ripped through a garment factory on Dhaka's outskirts, killing at least 111 people, injuring more than 200 others. Iranians voted on Friday in elections for parliament and a key clerical body amid fears of a low turnout and with conservatives expected to tighten their grip on power. Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who has called for strong turnout, was the first to cast his ballot at a polling station in central Tehran. The elections are the first in Iran since widespread protests erupted after the death in custody of Mahsa Amini following her arrest for an alleged breach of the country's strict dress code for women. Since last elections, Iran has also been badly affected by international sanctions that have led to an economic crisis. More than 61 million people out of Iran's 85 million population are eligible to vote for members of parliament, as well as the clerics of the Assembly of Experts, the body in charge of selecting Iran's supreme leader. A low turnout is expected, however, after a state TV poll found more than half of respondents were indifferent about the elections. Iran's last parliamentary elections in 2020 had a voter turnout of 42.57%, the lowest since the 1979 Islamic Revolution. Famine in the Gaza Strip is almost inevitable unless the Israel-Hamas war changes, the United Nations said on Friday. The UN and other humanitarian actors have not yet declared a state of famine in Gaza, despite worsening conditions in the Palestinian territory since the war started with the Hamas attacks on Israel on October 7. A spokesman for the UN Humanitarian Agency, OCHA, Jens Lark, said, however, once a famine is declared, it is too late for too many people. Israel's retaliatory bombardment and ground offensive in Gaza have killed more than 30,000 people since, according to the territory's health ministry. Humanitarian agencies says conditions for the 2.2 million people in Gaza are now dire. Lark cited the near-total closure of commercial food imports, the trickle of trucks coming in with food aid, and the massive access constraints to moving around inside the Palestinian territory. See the world closer with TVS as we bring the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines anytime, anywhere, just head on to our official website at tvsarawak.my or follow us on our social media platforms at TV Sarawak. And those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Shol Shamato. Thank you for watching and have a good night.